Some of the earliest Christian images painted on the walls of the catacombs in Rome are of Christ as a young, beardless shepherd holding a sheep on his shoulders. This very ancient theme of early Christian art is expressed in today's gospel, where Christ took pity on the crowd, who were like sheep without a shepherd. The setting is the apostles returning from their first experience of missionary work. They're tired and are in need of a rest. Christ knows how they feel, so he takes them off to a quiet place where they can be alone, where they can relax and spend some time in prayer. But it didn't work out like that. The crowd spotted the place where they were going and arrived there before them. One might have expected Christ to tell them to go home, that he had done enough that day, but he didn't turn his back on the situation. Their state was deplorable, and he was alert to their needs. We can all draw a lesson from the open-hearted behaviour of Christ in placing the needs of others before his own. If there's no rest for Jesus, there can be no rest for his followers either. By virtue of our baptismal calling, all of us have Christian responsibilities and a certain amount of shepherding to do. At times, there seems to be no let up, especially in family life. If grown children are not cared for or given their proper direction, they're going to be lost and wander aimlessly through life with no purpose. Being the good shepherd that Christ wants us to be is a hard line of business. The pathway he wishes us to tread is the straight and narrow one of the Ten Commandments. Unless we are continually linked to Christ through prayer, we're in the danger of wandering off and finding other pathways more attractive. The gospel speaks of the importance of finding a quiet spot in our lives where we can be alone with Christ in prayer. Like Christ, we need to get away at times from the constant calls upon us and from the pressure that bears down on us to listen to the healing voice of God and refresh ourselves spiritually. God's voice is heard best in moments of stillness, if only we allow Jesus to make his home in our hearts. There is open to us the power and the strength of God to assist us in our living. Silent prayer alone with God is one of our greatest needs. Alone in his presence, we should ask ourselves where we're going and what we're trying to achieve. If we don't make space for God in our lives, we're wasting our time and are not seen beyond our present activity. All of our life is sacred, but we will never understand this unless we accept our Lord's loving invitation to come apart and rest for a while.